What is going on, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Expected Bets for your go-to podcast for all things hockey betting. I am Gator Betting, joined by my two co-hosts, Franco the Banker and Gretzky Betskis. Guys, kind of a shit slate tonight, to be honest. Not a great slate on this Wednesday. Thursdays looks a little bit better, which we can get to later in the show. But before we do that, how are we doing? Franco, Mike sounds better. We had some audio issues to start, but I think we're in the clear now.
Yeah, feels good that people can actually hear me properly now. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. You know, we're just starting, so hopefully it doesn't turn into a train wreck. But yeah, this slate looks like shit. I'm ready to talk about tomorrow's slate already.
Yeah, no, I completely agree here. Betsky, how we doing? Cold, cold. What? 70 degrees in Phoenix today?
No, it's hotter than that. It was 76 as a high, so
you fucking asshole.
But it is getting into the 40s at night.
Oh, so, all right, yeah,
like late at night, but
okay.
It's like it'll get to like the 50s by 10.
Yeah, my sincerest apologies. As the East Coasters over here, I think it's 20 degrees, high of maybe 32 or something. It's ridiculous out here. It is cold.
It gets that cold. Or are you just making jokes?
No,
no. It is that cold.
Really? I've never heard of that.
It's 38 right now where I am, but it's been dropping.
It's like in the evening. You're joking. It can't be like that cold this early.
It's pitch black out at 5 o'clock and 30 degrees. So really, really great. Yeah, I got 34 right now.
That doesn't happen until January.
Nice. Very nice.
Nice. That was the weather talk for this episode. We'll have to do a little forecast on each preview. But before we start today,
real quick, look how sick this lineup would have been if it was 2013 or so. In the height of Boston times, height of Chicago dynasty. Toronto
we wouldn't have had Vegas.
But let's just put them in as a good team. Ducks would have still been awesome back then.
Yep.
That would have been LA as a championship team. Dallas would have been kind of doo-doo. That would have been the Mike Ribeiro years, right?
Yeah.
And then this would have been killer Preds time.
Yeah, but they still were never terrible, Dallas.
No,
they were always a fringe team. So
this slate would have been pretty awesome, and it would have been just loading up on the Preds to just wreck a Phil Kessel-led Toronto team.
Yeah. Parlaying Kane and Taves point. Would have been delicious.
Good old days.
Bergeron for an assist or something along those lines.
Pecorine saves. Pecorine shutout. Or Kessel shots.
Yeah, two Rask saves tonight.
PK shots for sure. Against Toronto with their crappy defense. Mike Dion Phaneuf hits.
Yeah, Anze Kopitar. Oh, wait, he's still freaking playing.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Dion Phaneuf time on ice and prize picks.
There you go. Yeah.
That's the angle.
Under on his hairline.
that over hasn't hit.
Catching strays.
That over never hit. Mm-hmm. You can dream, but unfortunately that is not the lineups for tonight. So with that being said, let's get into this first matchup. We have Boston taking on the Blackhawks. Boston's minus 155. They're a road favorite. Chicago plus 130. Boston's coming off a back-to-back game last night where they won 3-2 in overtime against Detroit. Chicago's lost 3 straight. It looks like in net it's going to be Swayman, who hasn't been confirmed yet, but he's likely to go. And then Mrazek has been confirmed for Chicago. These teams did face off 2 months ago in October. Boston won 3-0. However, we've seen some changes since then. Franco, I'm going to start with you. You put out a play earlier. I don't think anyone's got a side or total in this one, if I'm correct.
I mean, I think as far as side and total, I would lean towards, and this is just gross, but I would lean towards the Blackhawks. I feel like the price is telling you that this is a trap if you're going to take Boston. Let's put it that way. Boston is nearly bettable at minus 155. Any square better, or anybody that doesn't know any better would look at this and be like, oh, that's that's not a bad price, or grab them in reg or whatever. But I feel like this is a trap in some sort of way. I get it. They played a lot of games recently, and Chicago stinks. But
Yeah, I mean,
I
Boston's
don't know.
had a resurgence with the new head coach and everything, but again, this team just hasn't shown me enough where you're warranted a
No.
minus 155 price on a back-to-back.
Yeah, but it's against the Blackhawks. So if it was against like Toronto or Dallas or one of these other teams on the Kings,
Yeah,
I feel like
Toronto
it
would
would
be
be.
favored then.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just feel like it's the price just seems really bizarre. So I'm not betting the Blackhawks, just put it that way, but it's trying to trap you in. It feels like we'll see what happens. But yeah, as far as the play I had was Craig Smith. Me and Cappy are on him. We joked about it last episode. I brought it up, and we all had a little bit of a laugh for a minute, and then we're like, oh, actually, that kind of looks not too bad. I didn't end up taking it that night, and I got shellacked that night. So wish I had. He got all the way up to 5, I believe, right? So gonna go to him tonight. It's a revenge spot. He got to 4 last game. Sorry. I'm gonna ladder him up to 5. I have him all the way up to 5. That 5's at a way smaller bet size, but full unit on the 2 shots for sure at minus 130. I feel like is a really good price given the situation. They have played each other 3 times since he's been traded away. He's recorded 6-4 and 2 shots against them, so that ladder potential is there for sure. And I sprinkled his goal too, just because I'm a degenerate, but we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, and like we were talking about earlier too, Boston has now become a team that you can target for shots on goal. Last year, they kind of were that team that you really couldn't, and now they've kind of opened up that. Betsky, there's 2 revenge angles here. There's Taylor Hall and Tyler Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi's been awful lately in his recent history, but he does have great history against the Chicago Blackhawks. Taylor Hall has hit his over 1.5 shots on goal mark in 3 of his last 4 and 8 of his last 10. He hit his last game versus the Bruins, but I don't have any other history besides that. I don't know if you have like the full game log against the Bruins, but I only have the last game. So I was looking for that.
I think he's only played 1 game against them since he was a Bruin.
Okay.
Because he was traded to Chicago last season and only played a couple games that season before he had the season-ending injury, or he only played for like a month or so.
Yep. Okay.
So if you're looking at his older history against the Bruins, you're talking about him either on New Jersey, Arizona Coyotes,
Buffalo.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Or Edmonton.
All the way back to Edmonton. Yeah, but all that wouldn't count as far as revenge.
No, the revenge angle wouldn't be there.
Yeah. So he only had, I think he only has the 1 game.
The 1 game.
He's missed some time. That's probably why.
Yeah.
I mean, seeing him at a 1.5 shots on goal margin line is how the mighty have fallen. That is something. But he played him last year. Had 2 shots on goal on 2 attempts with 1 point. So nothing crazy there. But are you looking? I mean, Bertuzzi has been so bad lately, and his line is still that high. I think who brought it up today? Who was it? I can't think of his name right now. I'll have to check it out.
Wow. I didn't even look at his chart. That was bad.
Yeah.
3 shots total his last 10.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. God, I can't think of his name right now.
I can't believe how much that player has fallen off too. Anyways, if I'm going to take any of those angles, I probably would rather do a point for Hall.
Bisky, that's who brought it up.
Oh, nice. Love me some Bisky. Bisky bets. Fantastic dude from Vancouver.
I mean, what's up, Adam? I think Hall was probably the only guy that you can even have some sort of hope against that 1.5 line. But it's at minus 175. So is it really warranted in playing tonight? No. Yeah, it's crazy. Any other looks then, I guess. And,
It's funny
and
because
so-
usually I'm getting riled up for these revenge props, and I have no interest in these. So that should tell you all you need to know. Let's put it that way.
yeah, those are the two that I looked at.
Morgan Geeky shots, however.
Yeah, I have that circled. Yep. 5 of his last 6 away, 4 of his last 5 versus Chicago, 8 of his last 10 overall, and Chicago allows the fourth most shots on goal to forwards. But again, that's at minus 154.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe him and Craig Smith together.
What are we
something
supposed
like
to
that.
do with this game?
McAvoy, I like too.
Oh yeah, McAvoy looks really good too for 1.5. Fun times.
But he's at minus 178.
Yeah, no,
yeah. So
I would
mean,
say you
just
put
do
those two
him,
together.
dude. You could do him, Smith,
And Geeky.
Donato at 1.5, and meet Geeky, and then do them all at 3, and just pray to God that
This is a
things go
really
your way.
disheartening game.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
bad, huh?
This slate is disheartening.
Yes.
Marchand Point looks interesting. His history against Boston, 5 of his last 6 games, with 7 points in those 6 games with a 3-point night. But, you know, he only has 5 points in his last 10 and has only hit in 4 games.
That's an interesting prop Adam brought up. So I'm looking through Boston's PK as of late. They've allowed just one goal in their last 10 games. Chicago's power play has scored at least 1 in 4 of their last 6. I just don't know if I trust anyone on Chicago.
Yeah, and Boston's given up a ton of power plays, so I get.
Yeah,
I
but
get
they've only allowed 1 goal in their last 10.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
This game sucks.
I trusted Chicago last time and put a bunch of bets out on them, and they all lost. So screw this team.
Yeah, no, I really have no plays in this one at all. I mean, Craig Smith's shots on goal. I think that's the only look I would even consider in this game. It's at minus 130. That's where I would.
And they
go.
moved Donato from center to wing, so I wonder what that does for his shots. To be honest, but
yeah,
I mean, he still looks pretty decent at
yeah,
definitely at 1.5.
Before we get too depressed, let's move on here.
Bedard is just, jeez, so brutal. It's all so brutal in Chicago.
That whole game sucks.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Nashville at Toronto. Nashville plus 120 in this one. Toronto minus 142. Total is set at 6. Juice the under at minus 118. Again, not a ton of props in this one either. Betsky, I'll start with you.
There's one guy I love. There is one guy I really, really.
Is it Mitch Marner?
Nope.
Stamkos?
Nope. 3 letters.
Oh, OEL?
OEL.
Nope.
Oh.
ROR.
Okay.
Brian O'Reilly. Okay. All right. What do you got?
Toronto boy himself. Check out his history against them.
In terms of points or shots on goal.
No, check his
shots
goal
on
history.
goal.
Check his goal history. Just go right to his goals.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Didn't he run into the Tim Hortons drive-through drunk as hell in Toronto, or was that in Buffalo? No, you guys don't have Tim Hortons, so that was in Toronto.
Oh yeah, we do. Oh, don't disparage us like that.
Okay.
We have plenty of Tim Hortons. Buffalo is an extension of Canada. It is literally, it is an extension of Canada. But yeah, nope, that was in Buffalo, New York, where he
maybe they arrested him across the border or something. But I think he's from the area, right?
I think he's a Canadian. Yeah, he's definitely a Canadian.
Yeah,
boy,
I think he's like a John Tavares, where he probably had Toronto jammies and loves giving it to them. So his shots look great. Minus 140, so it's like almost a bettable price. You could probably find it in like that minus 135 range somewhere. Somebody's probably crazy enough to give it to you there. He's hit that in 5 of his last 5. He takes 5 shot attempts on average against Toronto, where over his last 10, he's taking 2.5. So he's like doubling his shots against them. Like Franco said, he has 2 goals in his last 10, but against Toronto in his last 5 against them, he has 6 goals, and he missed in the last time he played them, which just makes it even tastier to me. He has a point currently in like every other game over like the last 6 or so. So he did have a point last game. So I don't know if you're looking at trends like that. But yeah, all of his points in his last 5 games against Toronto are goals.
There is a misprice on DraftKings
for shots.
O'Reilly shots. It's 2 cents, but it's still a misprice. On his shots on goal, over under that tab under the shots on goal.
Oh yeah,
he's listed at 1.5 minus 142 for over that. If you go to shots on goal with the one that has kind of the scrolling tab, 2+ is minus 140. So you're going to get 2 cents value, but normally those line up exactly how they are. However, this is the case they don't.
They do that sometimes. So always check both.
So you're getting 2+ at minus 140 and then 3+ at plus 220 for 3 shots on goal tonight. Ryan O'Reilly plus 220.
Yeah. I mean,
that seems like
if you want your 1.5 guys, that's my favorite, but his goal is plus 350.
Yeah, that you have to have on your card. Absolutely.
Yeah, 2+ minus 140, that's bettable. And then 3+ again, you can ladder him up there plus 220. So I think those are 2 easy bets that you make tonight.
Can we talk about how that line has just fallen off a cliff? I mean, like, I get the whole thing with Stamkos and Marchessault not really working so far on this team, but like, that line has been kept together. I think they had last year. It was that line and nothing else. Remember, there were like flashes of Evangelista or Novak at different points in the season, but in reality, like, if you were betting Nashville props last year, you're betting Nyquist point, you're betting O'Reilly point, you're stacking Nyquist and Forsberg points together, or whatever the case was, and now nothing's changed with those 3. So why the hell is there no production from them anymore? It's just bizarre to see how bad, like, I don't get it.
This whole Predators experiment is bizarre in general, of the amount of hype they've had coming in from the offseason, the amount of additions they made of quality players, and nothing has seemed to pan out. And we've given them 20, 25 games now at this point, and it still has shown a slight turnaround, but it's not anywhere near the turnaround we expected.
Yeah, I mean, they're just getting to overtime and then losing in overtime. So it's not like a good thing here. They blew that late lead to the Flyers. That was a pretty brutal loss that they had in that one. So, Adam's right. He said, "I'm tired of talking about how bad Nashville is." I agree with you, man. Like, this is crazy. How can this team be so bad? And if it's those 2 guys, Marchessault and Stamkos, then what is wrong with O'Reilly, Forsberg, and Nyquist?
I don't know. I don't know.
They had no one else last year, and that line carried them into the playoffs. It was phenomenal, and you can't even bet these friggin' guys anymore, and they're still juiced to like high hell for some reason.
It's gonna be the curse of the hot line next year. The Sagan Duchesne Marchment one's gonna be like ice cold or something like that.
I mean, we're gonna get to that game in a minute, but Sagan always gets friggin' injured, and it sucks to see him be gone for 4 to 6 months or whatever.
4 to 6 weeks. Yep. He's gone 4 to 6. Marner shots on goal, maybe be another look in this one that I had. Nashville gives up the 6th most shots on goal to forwards, and Marner's kind of goes on these hot streaks. He didn't hit last game. He had 0, but both times this season, I believe, even dating. So the last 2 times he had 0, he hit his mark in the next game. This seems like a prime spot for him. I think he's better at, he's hitting 4 of his last 7 at home. So I don't know. That was my only look in this one. He doesn't have great history against Nashville. I like the Ryan O'Reilly look.
Nice point.
Yeah, I think that's the main look. The other thing too is Matthews finally got his goal. Coming back, it took a game or 2 to get going. He has 4 goals in his last 5 against them, including a 2-goal game. So maybe he keeps rolling here. So that kind of plays into the Nye's point. And Nye's goal doesn't look bad either. So there's some value, but it's just, I don't know. I think O'Reilly's my favorite play here.
Do we want to talk about Stamkos's point history against Toronto?
I don't even want to talk about Stamkos. I feel like that guy's just Stam ghost.
I didn't even know they still offered his props. I thought he was that bad.
Holy shit, that history is crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the
Toronto boy.
Look ahead. Yeah,
with the Maple Leaf
Stamkos point is hitting every one of his games against.
I mean,
Toronto,
how many games is that? That's an insane number of games that they're showing on Props.cash right now, and he's only missed like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, 24 games. 24. He's hit in 5 straight though, which in this chart he has not done before.
He does have a point.
This is like the perfect time for him to miss.
Yeah, but you're getting him at -120 tonight. A Steven Stamkos point at half a point at -120 tonight.
I don't want to take a guy who has hit a point in 4 games of his last 10 and 40 has only hit 40% of the time this entire season at -120.
Yep. That's why. Toronto's going to win this game. I mean, Toronto is -140 or whatever. That's almost like.
So would you take Toronto money line then?
Kind of.
I guess, yeah. Let's move on. This is sad.
Yeah.
It's a sad state of affairs.
We should be excited about this game. Like going into the season, we would have been excited about this game. Not so much.
Yeah, we would have been excited about a lot of these games.
Sagan is 4 to 6 months, by the way, not weeks.
Oh,
what?
Wow.
Are you sure?
Yep, I just confirmed it, and Adam said it too in the chat, but I just want to look it up.
That's
so he's not back until playoffs. He's straight Mark Stone right now. They're going to LTIR him, and they'll get some stud somehow. It'll be great.
What a segue. Mark Stone could be returning to the lineup tonight for Vegas.
Ooh.
Oh, is he really? I saw you skating.
That was the rumor floating around. I haven't, so I checked it this morning, saw that he was questionable for tonight. I didn't do any research since then, so there may have been some more information coming out, but he may be returning from his 13-game absence with a lower body injury. But going into Vegas, Anaheim, these teams have faced off twice this season. Vegas beat them 3-2 in November, and then earlier this season, Vegas won 3-1. Vegas 6-3, 0-1 in their last 10. Anaheim 6-3-1 in their last 10. Some point streaks tonight. Barbashev and Terry have been on a tear, both at bettable numbers tonight. So that's where I would look in that. But Vegas -162 on the money line. Anaheim +136. Total set at 6.5. The only 6.5 we have tonight, actually. But it is juiced the under at -120. Franco, I'll let you start us off in this one. Any looks in Vegas, Anaheim?
Well, I think first of all, you need to be looking at defensemen for shots. That's like automatic at this point against Anaheim and San Jose. So, don't know how much value you're getting, and they don't really have that guy right now. I feels like that's there's no Montour on this team. Let's put it that way. So I guess you go Hannafin. He's hitting 4 of his last 5, so he's been relatively warm. Theodore's missing his last 5.
But Theodore's attempts have been pretty solid, though. They've been more than he's averaged this season before that. He's had 5, 6, 6, and 5 every time he's missed. Before that, his attempts were lower and he was still hitting. So it's interesting to see that. That's my only concern with Theodore is it's just 2 more pucks to get through and not blocked. He's right there. So
plus he's a former Duck, right?
Theodore, yeah,
that's where they got him from.
He was taken from the expansion draft.
Yep, from them. He was one of their like high, when they got him, that was one of the high like upside picks that they took. He was like an unproven young talent. So, but So I don't know. I guess that revenge angle plays in a little bit. I don't really know though. It's kind of funky there. Dorfeev looks good. I might go there, but again, -152 for 2.5. Olofsson's another 1.5 guy that looks pretty good. I think in reality, you joked about before the show, making a 1.5 parlay. I think we should do that. Just you have pieces in just about every game that look good, like O'Reilly and I don't know how you guys feel about Olofsson, but he looks pretty damn good. Obviously, second game back from the injury, right?
Yep.
So we'll see what happens there. But and then
A lot of his time though depends on the power play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
I guess, yeah.
And if Stone ends up coming back, then God knows.
Yeah, I mean,
I imagine.
The good news is
about Olofsson.
Yeah, Golofsson, Victor Golofsson.
It doesn't even look like he's on the power play anymore.
He started the season on the power play.
Yeah, hold on. See, the problem is that was his first game back. So did they even? They didn't have him on there. But does that stay the same? And they had Brett Howden on the second power play unit.
Yeah,
I don't know how exciting that is for anybody, but yeah, I don't know. I think you got to ride Barbashev. That's like point prop. Would be like my main play here. The guy's been money. He has
until Stone comes up and they knock him down.
I know. Well, no, they're gonna knock Dorofeyev down.
Not unless they want to see what Dorofeyev looks like with.
Maybe, but Barbashev's been so good. Yeah. He has.
I'm partially just giving you
five goals in his last 6 games. So last 6, including a 2-goal game. He had a goal last night. So yeah, I don't mind taking him for sure. Point in the goal.
Thomas Hertl's an interesting character tonight. Adam brought up his 2.5 shots on goal mark. He has hit this a lot recently in his head-to-heads. Was he hit 3 of his last 6? So that's not there, but he is, I believe, a road dog. I'm checking those numbers now. He's hitting 7 of 13 this season on the road compared to 4 of 13 at home. Anaheim does give up the second most shots on goal to forwards, so that's not a bad look from Adam as well. But I also looked at his point. I think he's got a pretty insane history against Anaheim.
He used to be really good with the Sharks, I feel
he's hitting 8 of his last 9 games against the Ducks.
You can take the Shark out of San Jose, but you can't take the Shark out of Hertl.
That's pretty impressive. 8 of his last 9, and a few multi-point games in there.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, his points at -110 tonight, so it's not a terrible look either. And he's on that power play, like Adam brought up.
His assist is +196.
That's pretty crazy. Do you guys feel like Vegas doesn't shoot a lot in general? Like, I don't know where they rank as far as
Gibbs. I was looking at Gibson's saves tonight, and I pulled up the shots for numbers for Vegas: 16 versus Edmonton, 29 versus Utah, 30 versus Winnipeg, and then 19 again versus Colorado. So
wow,
it's pretty hit or miss for this squad. I mean, if they're
on a back-to-back,
yes, yeah, they beat Edmonton last night 1-0. So I don't know. But again, they were on a back-to-back against Ottawa, but that's Ottawa, and they had 32 shots on goal. And then they had a back-to-back versus Utah, and they had 29 shots on goal. Gibson saves that 27.5, though, tonight, which seems kind of high for this team that's kind of sporadic.
Well, it seems like that, but then you look at his chart, and he's had 30 or more saves in all but one game, except the one against Vegas, I mean. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he said in each of his last 5 versus Vegas.
You go have fun with that one. I'm not touching it.
Yeah, no. It feels trappy. Like you're going to bet that over, and he's going to sail under. He's going to have like 23 saves.
Zellweger over 1.5 shots on goal.
Yeah,
guy just doesn't miss.
List.
Yeah, he just doesn't miss. It is insane. He's hitting what?
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. Yep. I think we'll go with that. Last 20. Yeah, 15 of his last 20.
So is that the 1.5 piece from this game?
Yeah.
Okay.
So right now it's O'Reilly 1.5.
Hertl, but I'd rather try to take Hertl all the way to 3.
Yeah. Craig Smith 1.5, Ryan O'Reilly 1.5, Zellweger 1.5, and then we could even add a 4th leg in this one.
Well, do we do Smith or do we do somebody different? Because Smith is like a straight.
Let me give you a hint of who I would do.
For the last game. I was talking in the Boston game though, because we were talking about like other guys like Geeky and McAvoy and stuff like that. But
Hall and Bertuzzi both at that 1.5 line too.
Yeah, but those guys suck.
But. Yep, that's fair. Let's see this. If Stone
I
is
love
confirmed
that.
in, Bet Rivers has Vegas over half a power play goal.
Yeah.
That's a good look.
Yeah. Yep.
Anaheim's taken 3 or more in each of the last 4 games, but they've only given up 1 shorthanded goal in 1 of their last 6. So
I think Dostal's a big part of that, though. Like, we're getting
Yeah.
Gibson instead. So I'm not saying Gibson's terrible, but if I'm going to bet any kind of goals or points against this team, I would rather see him in net.
yeah. All right, last game of the night. Dallas at Los Angeles. Dallas minus 115 on the money line. LA minus 105. Total set at 5.5. Juice to the over at minus 120. A lot of 1.5s in this game, excuse me. Clark, Denault, Duchesne. Any guys I'm missing?
Hints. Quentin
Franco,
Byfield,
what? Yeah.
who has had 1 shot in 10 straight
yeah.
games.
Yeah, Byfield under.
I don't know, man.
1.5.
How long are you going to trust a trend?
I'm just not going to touch it in general. That's too long to go for a
I'm
forward.
so curious to see what happens. I'm not going to take the under is plus 126.
That's kind of intriguing. I'm not going to lie.
What? Betsky, what are your plays in this one?
Oh, Hints is at 2.5. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
You can always water him down. Let me see. What did I write down? Nothing. I don't like this game at all.
Perfect. Franco?
I just can't.
That makes it easy.
Yeah,
the slate. I don't even know why we're taking so long on it. I will say, Trevor Moore is on the top line, or at least he was last game, and as of now, that's what he's on daily faceoff, I believe. So I'm interested in his point prop at plus 138, I believe it is, and his goal prop. That's
Who?
about Trevor Moore.
Oh yeah, that guy.
yeah, that guy.
Yeah, and he went on that long streak before, just then snapped a 4-game pointless streak. Yeah, that's kind of nice.
He's been kind of shifted all around the lineup too. He's been on the first line, he's been on the third line, he's been on the second line. I mean, he's on that line with Kempe and Kopitar, who've both been pretty hot overall. So I'm going to trust that. It's funny to see, Marchment point at plus money, Duchesne point pretty damn bettable as well at minus 130. But
Johnston
I really
point bettable.
I think the loss. I mean, we'll see.
Minus 125.
We'll see. I mean, clearly the books aren't thinking there's going to be a lot of goals here, but
this could easily be like the best game of the night.
Yeah, it could be, and I'm interested to see how Stankoven works on that line with those two guys. So that's who they bumped up last game. I forget who was on that line. It was not him though.
Look at Jason Robertson's point history against Dallas.
Yep, that's what I was going to say.
7 of his last 8.
He's from LA, by the way.
12 points. Yeah.
That's why.
All right. Am I
Stamkos
doing this?
point, Robertson point.
Holy shit.
Hometown
dude.
history.
Take his 1 point and take his 2 point because
I know.
Yeah, but LA's been so good defensively lately. Like
LA
you look at
stinks.
those numbers.
LA still stinks.
I'm not saying they don't, but I'm saying
Don't give me that.
At some point here, Franco, we're wrong.
No,
Yeah.
I will not admit that Dave Rittich is a starting goaltender in this league. And I eventually I'm going to be right. Damn it.
Damn.
Tonight's
I think
the night.
Portillo just got sent down. Didn't he? Or did Portillo get called up? I saw Portillo was on the move.
I saw his name. I saw his name.
I saw his name.
Like the restaurant?
No, the Sabres goaltender who didn't want to sign for us and tested free agency and signed with the Kings.
Is that his
Eric
nickname? Because he
Portillo.
goes to Portillo's a lot?
Yes.
Maybe his family owns it.
Italian beef? Oh,
Yeah,
that'd be
maybe his family owns it.
crazy.
Yeah. Michigan product.
Do you guys feel like the Stars at minus 115 is a little short here?
Is Ottinger confirmed?
Yeah.
Well,
he's up on the as a save prop. So
D Smith ain't that bad.
I kind of lean
2+ points in 6 out of his last 10 games.
Who was that?
Kopitar.
Yeah, he's been on a tear. He's been scoring goals too, randomly.
So the only thing is Dallas has been worse on the road. They're 6-6 away, 10-2 at home. LA has been much better at home this season, 8-1 compared to 6-2 on the road.
Yeah, that's fair. I still think.
I mean, this is such a shit slate that I just don't like anything tonight.
I know.
Like O'Reilly, 1.5 shots on goal. I think that's a great look. Craig Smith again, another good look, but that's maybe about it. Barbashev up there. So, all right, let's
roll.
Before we get in the next tomorrow, let's do the parlay of the night. Let's get that out there for the people. So I'm assuming O'Reilly at 1.5 is going to be in there.
Yeah, that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
O'Reilly at 2+ shots on goal. Zellweger.
Yes.
Okay. And then the third star of the night are we going back to Craig Smith, or are we looking in the late game?
I like Brant Clark a lot too.
I do too.
Yeah, we could do
think
that.
Dallas actually is a little leaky to defensemen too. Let me
yeah.
Dallas is 18th in shots on goal versus defensemen this season.
That's Mill Road.
I'm good with that.
How has his attempts been?
Pretty solid.
Yeah.
So in his last, he said in each of his last 5, he had 5, 4, 6, 3, and 3 attempts. He's been much better at home this season.
Yeah.
Home, he's hitting 8 of 11. On the road, he's hitting 5 of 14.
Whoa, look at Matt Duchene.
At 1.5.
Yeah, against LA.
Yeah, I had that written down as history.
History.
His away.
That could be a straight though. That's a straight.
Oh yeah,
at minus 130 tonight. Like you could just throw that in at the end of the night, depending on how it goes.
I'm gonna add that. Actually, I like that. We'll do Clark. Do we want to add one of the higher juice plays in the Boston game?
What is Chicago leakiest to position wise?
Also, Heiskanen and Point. Forward. The home and away splits he has this year is insane.
For points, you said?
For a point, he's hitting 5 of his last 6 games. He's hitting 4 of his last 5 versus LA. At home this season, he's hitting 2 of 12. On the road this season, he's hitting 7 of 12.
I think this was the case for him last year too.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's at even money tonight for a point. Again, do you just trust that LA's been better defensively as of late? If the total's only at 5.5, you're not expecting many goals.
Yeah,
he's going to play every other team in the league on the road. Most of them still.
It's just a crazy home and away split of 2 and 12 at home, 7 of 12 on the road hitting. So
we got
That's all right. So do you want?
That's not bad. Yeah.
No, it's not a bad look at even money tonight.
Yeah.
O'Reilly 2+, Zellweger 2+. Are we going with Brant Clark 2+, or are we going somewhere else? Brant Clark.
I think Clark.
Yeah.
That gets us to plus 370.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the last one?
So we have O'Reilly 2+ at minus 140, Zellweger 2+ at minus 155, Brant Clark at 2+ at minus 150. That comes out to plus 370. That's not bad. And then you have straights at that 1.5 mark of Craig Smith, Matt Duchene. Told you it's a 1.5 night tonight.
Yeah. I think we leave it at that. I mean, you could add somebody in that Boston game, but I feel like it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not forced. Yeah.
That works with me. All right. Let's move on to tomorrow's slate, which is much better than tonight's. Starting off with Colorado and Carolina. Colorado just made an incredible comeback the other night, down 4-0 in the first period to come back and beat the Buffalo Sabres 5-4.
Did you watch that game?
This team is a joke. They're an unserious organization. Something needs to happen, and it starts from the top. We don't have standards. Nothing. This team is just. I hate this team.
You're right.
I hate
Colorado
this team.
could use better goaltending.
We're up 4-0 in the first period.
How do you lose that game?
How do you lose that game in regulation? Not even get a single point in regulation. We lost.
I was saying, I wish I could just take player props from Colorado when they're down in the first. Like, I don't want to touch a McKinnon prop if it's 0-0 going into the second or they're up 1-0. He's not going to hit his shots. He's not going to hit his points then. But man, if they are down, I want them all. I wish I could just be notified, hey, they're going to be losing at the beginning of this game. Yeah. It's like, hell yeah, all right, and give me them all. Give me them all.
Yeah. The Sabres aren't a serious organization. We're a joke of a franchise, and I hate them. But we won't get to them until they play Winnipeg later on. So starting off, Colorado at Carolina. Carolina minus 150, Colorado plus 125. Any looks in this one?
The Colorado side looks good. But historically, Colorado looks really good. But then at the same time, Carolina's been awesome. Well, I guess no. They haven't been since Florida just smashed them back to back, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Then, holy shit!
Since then, I mean, they just lost to Seattle last night.
That's right.
So, are they going to bounce back, or is it going to be still the same thing going on? So, I don't know. I mean, McKinnon and Rantanen both pop against this team. 11 points and 7, 10 points and 7 for each of them. McKinnon's been shooting. Is that something that's going to continue, or is that a one-off? He had been nothing as far as the shot props go for a large chunk of the season, and now he's hitting 5 straight, and not hit went 7 or 8 shots. So I know this isn't the best matchup for shots, but I feel like he's on another level right now, McKinnon.
Yeah, I've been kind of waiting for this to happen. I'll probably want to once we get
But is Carolina the team to target him against?
I want to just see what the history is first, but I mean, it seems like Carolina's in a rut, and you gotta imagine the Avs are going to be coming out hot. So I think McKinnon's something I'll be looking towards. Yes, but I want to double check the history, but it may not matter. I don't know. There you go. That's my analysis.
Yeah.
What is going on in the chat? All right.
I got
all right.
Yeah, the over in this game.
Yeah, the over feels good. Nature's
assist.
I feel like you got to bet every single game, regardless.
Yeah, that's
they finally put him back on the line.
Nature's assist.
They put him back on that line with Robinson, and Robinson scored. So,
but I wonder if Carolina will shuffle the lines up
again. Though they've shuffled them 3 straight games
on the top line again.
Also, what do they do with Georgiev? Georgiev's maybe played a first period and completed a first period in what, maybe 3 games this season?
They're going to start Wedgwood. They have to, right?
Wedgwood's the reason they won that game last time. So I don't know. All right, next game up, Florida at Philly. Franco, your Flyers plus 140 in this matchup.
It's going to be fun for you, Franco.
Yeah, right. This should be a good one. Florida lost to Pittsburgh in overtime last night. Any thoughts on this one, Franco?
Well, I assume that they're going to take their frustrations out on Philly, but they are on the road, which they haven't been as good on the road. So I'm a little hopeful there. I think you continue to ride that Ekblad point. If it's plus money again, I think you're just getting you're kind of catching the book sleeping a little bit. You're not getting any value on any Florida player, right? Reinhart is minus 190 for a point. Barkov's plus minus 200 for a point. Verhaeghe even is like minus 170. So, guys like Rodriguez don't really produce point wise. So Ekblad's had a point in whatever it is, 4 of his last 5
that
or
revenge
5
game
of
was
his
out
last
the
6.
window.
What's that?
I said that revenge game, him versus Pittsburgh the other night. He didn't do anything there. I mean, even Middlestat against the Sabres, nothing there. Both those revenge angles just gone.
Yeah. I actually didn't even grab Rodriguez because he just hasn't been that good this year. Like in general, I don't know what's up with him, but I don't know. Like I said, Ekblad point looks good. He has 5 assists in 5 games versus them, so that's where I'm going to be looking for sure. Konechny's been great recently, and he has a decent history against Florida as well. And I'm going to continue to ride Farabee shots. It's funny because he hasn't been scoring this year. Like in the past, he's been able to be like a pretty decent goal scorer, but he only has 3 goals in 25 games this year. He's been ice cold, but he's been firing the puck a ton. He's his 3 shots on goal a bunch in the last few games. So I feel like that puck luck's going to bounce for him eventually, but because of that, he's just shooting a ton. So, and you're getting like plus money on his 3 shots. So.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he's been rimming it around the net quite a bit, but at some point, that still counts, right?
Yep, still counts.
All right, next game up here. I can't take this seriously right now.
It's the Nashville Predators against Montreal Canadiens.
Yep. Betsky, start us off here.
I mean, again, I don't really want to be talking about Nashville too much, but Yossi assist comes to mind. If so, he's been doing pretty good with the scoring stuff, and I'm this one's probably going to be something I'll look into, see if there's any sort of weird history there, but nothing totally stands out. Maybe, you know what, a Suzuki assist, maybe something I'll be looking into. I cashed that last night for like plus 120. Caulfield's been really hot. I'm assuming we're going to get a backup Tendy for the Predators, and that situation, that may be Annunen now.
That's a good.
Oh, wow.
That's good.
Yeah.
Actually, so the more I'm thinking
is
about,
Montreal live in this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did they win last night?
They did. Yes, they beat the Islanders 2-1 in overtime.
I actually really like Montreal money line now.
Caulfield has 3 goals in 4 games against them, averaging almost 5 shots on goal in those 4 games as well. So
okay, yeah.
So then Suzuki Caulfield point stack again. I like Adam's comment too. Line A again.
So wait, did Line A hit his shots?
I don't know about that. I just know he scored.
He scored. I didn't. Jeez,
he had 2 shots. He had 2 shots. So
okay, cool.
I mean, this is why they brought him in. This is why they brought him in, right?
To now he may be bumped up to the top power play unit now that he's got a game under his belt.
I would assume so. Yeah.
So Line A point.
Stamkos has a fantastic history though. 14 points in 11 games. So I know everybody's chomping the bit to bet Stamkos point props.
I mean, we talked about him tonight.
Maybe like minus 110.
O'Reilly as well. 9 points in 8 games, or
I kind of remember
games.
that. Yeah.
So,
I just wonder how much of that is.
Yeah.
And next game he's going to score tonight, which means he'll have a point in 2 straight games, and that's so damn rare that you're going to really go for 3 with Ryan O'Reilly.
Yeah, he's going to blow his load tonight, and he's not going to do shit tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, Winnipeg at Sabres. There's an interesting prop here. So one of the guys on Winnipeg grew up in Buffalo, Iafallo. Not sure his history against the Sabres, but that is something of note.
Huh.
I don't know. I'm sure he's played in Buffalo before, but maybe an anytime goal scorer or something.
Something
to consider there.
Though? Isn't he buried? Is he even in the lineup?
Is he?
or is he hurt?
Yeah, I follow. He's with,
he's fourth line.
Kupari and Barron.
Barron and Kupari.
So
I don't know,
that is
just something
actually
to
kind of
consider there.
interesting because Winnipeg could use a spark. And generally, when the teams start to slump, sometimes you'll find that from the lower lines. So that's
they moved Nemesnikov up to the top line, and that didn't work out. So that line was unproductive. So maybe we'll see a shift. I don't know.
Darlene shots. He continues to shoot a ton. Tage shots have started to come on.
Kulik after that embarrassing loss from last night that you were
the Kulik over 1.5 line has continued to cash, especially at home.
Did that hit last night?
That hit last night too. Kulik has been great, even despite. I mean, he gets that second power play time, which I think really helps. He's kind of on that third or fourth line, but he's been pretty good as of late. Next game up, San Jose at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay minus 260 on the money line. San Jose plus 210. Total set at 6. Any looks here?
I mean, man, San Jose has been a fun team.
Yeah.
I think you really got to wait for anything on the Tampa side until we find out who's in and who's out. Adam just pointed out the one I wanted to say, that the Hedman assist looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too concerned if Kucherov's out. If anything, that make Hedman be a little bit more involved offensively. So that doesn't worry me at all. But then on the Sharks side, I mean, Eklund has been insane, and you can get a great price for him. Salbrini shots has been wild. Another big one on the Tampa side, though, would be point shots. I think we may be able to get a decent price. He's kind of missed against some tough opponents lately, but when he plays at home, he's like a 65% or higher hit rate. Even if you're just using it as a parlay piece, it's just like such a no-brainer. Point power play or point goal, even.
Yeah. The over in this one, too, depending on the goaltending matchup. I mean, Vasilevsky has not looked good in his last few games. 4 goals against, 5, 2, and 4. So I still think this could be a high-scoring affair, and you're getting it at 6, minus 120. I can see this moving to 6.5 before puck drops tomorrow. I don't mind the over at all in this one.
Yeah.
Any other? Yeah. All right, next game up, we have Detroit at Ottawa. What's the line in this one? Detroit plus 145, Ottawa minus 170. Any looks here?
Are these the two teams you can't trust at all?
Or is this Propapalooza, where you just expect a high-scoring game with 30 shots
These
each?
teams hate each other. Each other. Ottawa's the team that took out Larkin last year, right, with the cross-check?
Yes. Yes. Right? Gosh, these games are so good.
So these are always fun.
I mean,
it's just these teams have not been trustworthy this year at all. To back them, it feels like
you're getting the total right at now at 6, and I think it's either pushed or hit in 8 of their last 10 matchups.
I mean, Lucas Raymond goal, he's been red hot.
Yep. DeBrincat shots has been pretty decent as of late. He didn't hit last game, so you expect a bounce back here against Ottawa. Is a pretty Brady shots.
Stützle, Kachuk, Giroux, and Batherson all are at a point per game in their games against them. And that's in 10, 12, 11, 11 games. Yep. So,
yeah. Load it up. Spray it.
I wish Perron was playing. We have a Perron revenge angle.
Yeah. Oh, Brock. No, speaking of going to the next game, Seattle at New York minus 130, total set at 5.5. Brock Nelson shots has been great the past few games. I think he's on a tear. Hit last night, so I would check him out.
Yeah, once he gets rolling, he goes for a while, and I am all for that.
I'm going to keep Ryan Bjorkstrand point, man.
Yeah, I was
going to say 135 last night.
Wow. Yep. How do you guys feel about Montour now that Dunn is back?
I don't know what
he's still hitting.
Did he hit last night?
I don't think did he miss last night, even though it's against Carolina. So I kind of just toss that out anyways. But
Schwartz, McCann, shots on goal. Those have been pretty good as of late.
I just can't wait for
Dunn at
Dunn.
1.5.
I can't wait for Dunn Point to be a wagon again
once he gets home.
Right. St. Louis at Calgary. Any looks in this one? Sharon Govich shots.
Oh.
Maybe.
Kadri shots.
Kadri has been very hot.
So I have found that the Flames are a great target for block shots. So just keep that in mind when you see guys tomorrow for block shot props. Figure out who to target, but maybe it's Parayko or Leddy or something like that. But they've been awesome for block shots.
Yeah, Adam said Blues money line.
Yeah, I still think Calgary's
emotional win.
Calgary's, that game was weird.
Parayko, good call. Yeah,
I don't know. He just got named
to
the roster too for Team Canada, right? Or was that a joke? I saw something about that earlier.
USA were announcing at 6:30. Sweden and Finland have already come out. I don't know about Team Canada. I'm guessing they were announcing tonight along with Team USA.
Gotcha.
But yeah. All right. Last game on the slate: Columbus at Edmonton. Should be an interesting one to end the night. Columbus plus 210, Edmonton minus 260.
I mean, you're not going to do just a McDry 2 points and then
2-point parlay
plus a Bouchard assist and call it a day.
Yeah,
I did that on the Utah game. It was like I forget how much. It must have been. I think it was like close to plus 500 for both of them at 2 points and a Bouchard assist. And it was like, well, this seems like the new thing to do once they start playing home again.
Yeah, I would agree. Franco, any looks in this last game?
So this is like the bonanza first period over, full game over type of situation. Both teams off a shutout.
Oof. Oh, wow.
So whatever it's at, like you take it. You take the first period, both teams to score. Maybe you take both teams to score 2 or something, whatever. Get stupid with it. Check those MGM lines for the straight numbers as well. You can do like Edmonton first period team total over 1, and that'll probably be like minus 105. Same for Columbus over 1 first period. That way you get a push if they only score 1. I did that with Carolina last night. And if you get 2 from them, you're cashing nice. So a couple of different ways to look at it. If you're looking at I would assume that first period over 1.5 is going to be like minus 140 at open at best. Probably worse.
Adam made a good point.
Yeah,
Oilers 5 points. Columbus worst PK in the last 30 days.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ken Johnson point, right?
Yes, Marchenko shots on goal. Marchenko point. Werenski shots on goals continues to hit. He's been insane.
Werenski was ridiculous last night. Everybody else on that ice was dead, and he was just skating around, and the only player showing any kind of life. He looked fantastic.
Yeah. He's got 16 points in his last 10 games, 35 shots on goal in his last 10, 73 attempts.
Unbelievable.
McDavid's got 18 points in his last 10. Dreisfeld's got 14 in his last 10. So I like your kind of double up 2-point parlay in that last one. I think there's a ton of looks in the late night game too. So, and Werenski made Team USA roster. So
love that. Yeah, really love that. Then,
yeah, I think Tage got snubbed.
Yeah. Do you target guys that made these rosters? Right. Like I saw.
I don't think it matters. I think you target guys who didn't.
I like the people that should have and didn't snubs. A little bit more, but I still think I think you probably get a boost like for a day or two that you made it. Like, oh, yeah,
I heard that they were taking Kreider and Trocheck over, over Caulfield and Thompson.
What a world.
So, yeah, no,
Crazy.
I don't think if they made the roster, it's any sort of extra motivation. I think it's those players who are kind of on that cusp line who didn't take it, and you kind of looked for them for the next
So we're betting
few
Tage's
weeks or
goal
so.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Cage goal, Caulfield goal.
Keller got snubbed.
There you go.
I mean, I
Yeah,
think
those are
that's
the
a
guys
pretty
to
stacked
target then.
list. I think he would be probably a little bit further down on the list than those other two, but I'm sure they all feel it a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, he's a captain of a team, so
Totally. And he
any
put
player,
up like
any
over
player in
80
that
points
situation
last
should be considered
30 goal scorer.
Yep.
But Trocheck.
Yeah, I don't know how the hell
Kreider,
Trocheck
yeah.
makes it. Come on, dude.
Because he plays for the fucking Rangers.
Yeah, they went with a veteran lineup. Sure. All right. Any other final thoughts
It's not
before
like
we
it
wrap
means
up?
anything.
Yeah, it's very true.
The chances of them doing it next year are like so
Well,
slim
the
to
Olympics are
none.
next year.
Oh,
2
yeah,
years?
you're right. Yeah. So
They're
there's
the
just
next
like a
year.
warm up.
Are players
yeah, 'cause
going to be allowed
I-
to go to the Olympics next year?
Yes,
I
because I,
think
know
they
they
are,
weren't.
yeah.
They are, because I know they weren't
Yeah,
doing
it's going to be
the
the
All-Star
first
game
time
for
in
2
a long
years.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's the whole Sochi thing where they didn't really, or did they? No, they did not go to Sochi.
They did, because Sochi was when TJ Oshie had the shootout.
Some of them went.
Some of them went.
It was like a weird thing where a lot of teams wouldn't want to send their stars to Sochi.
Yeah. I think
It was like
Kucherov
the
kind of
weird-
killed the All-Star game.
Yeah. Bless his heart.
It's fine. It's for the best.
Yeah.
I am more excited about this than the All-Star game, but I still.
Yeah,
I would certainly agree.
I think it'll be fun.
Yep.
He'll be all right.
Yeah.
World Juniors is better still.
Way better. All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for listening for this episode. Our parlay of the night is going to be Ryan O'Reilly, 2+ shots on goal, Olin Zellweger, 2+ shots on goal, and Brant Clark, 2+ shots on goal. You can get that on DraftKings. That's going to come out to +370. If you use promo code THPN, you get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Also, if you're going to any game soon, be sure to check out Game Time. You get $20 off your first purchase using promo code THPN as well. We want to thank everyone for listening and our wonderful sponsors. We will be back Friday. And until then, have a good